Are we on? I think so. It now says it is. So hello everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Artemis Esports Championship, and you join us for the first competitive action on F1 Oh, hang on. Voice chat is suspended. Brilliant. That just has to get in the way, doesn't it? But we are here at Silverstone Circuit. The unknown format means that we have no idea what is beyond tonight's round when we finish in around 75 minutes time, and they've put it on F2. This hasn't quite gone to plan, but what has gone to plan is that somebody has volunteered to join me tonight, and that is the legend, as you can see on the screen, that is FRT. Harvey, how are you doing? And welcome to your first ever commentary.
Hey everyone, I hope it's working and you can hear, but yeah, I'm fine, Joseph. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
Nothing to be nervous about. This is going to be a lot of fun because we've got plenty of new faces when it comes to the whole no assist thing, for me anyway, and we've got some teams to welcome back. We'll get into that when we start the lobby. We are just missing at the moment one of yours. There's an FRT driver that's well, actually drivers have not yet
Dan
shows their cars.
Yeah.
So, oh, he's in here somewhere. Sorry about the hold up. Yeah, F2 cars was not the intention, but we're back to F1 now. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Obviously Noah, big idolizer of you, Harv. Harry Jenner, Kenzie, Tom Nepp, of course, always here. Recently on the channel as well, we passed 600 followers going into F1 23, and a few coming in the last few minutes. AMS Effect, and obviously Jenna on that as well, and up to 611 followers on the AEC Twitch channel. Thank you all so much for that one. BXM saying never knew it took this long to get in a lobby. Yep. Me neither, but I thought we'd start bang on 8 o'clock, and naturally we've had a bit of a hold up, but that is okay. Bobberts is saying let's go, so I think we'll be able to go in a moment. So, Harvey, obviously you mentioned you're a bit nervous.
Yeah.
There is, again, absolutely nothing, and I'll reassure you that you can talk about anything. So,
yeah.
Where do you want to start then? Is there anything that excites you about tonight, and obviously F1 23 in general?
Well, I'm excited to see which teams are going to be doing the best. I would have thought PSR may be a favourite, but we're going to see how it goes.
Indeed. What else have we got in the live chat? Kenzie's going to unfollow. Oh no, big shame. That'll be a big miss, but we are now readying up. And the format is as follows. It's an 18-minute qualifying session in the short format, followed by a 50% race. Crucially, red flags are on reduced. Not red flags, safety cars are on reduced. Red flags are off. Just got that one a little bit mixed up. The point system is typical AEC. Actually, no, it isn't. It's slightly adjusted, I think, from what it.
I don't know the point system. I think there was a vote for it. I don't know.
30, 25, 21 for the top three. I think that's normal AEC.
How was it? 30.
30 for the win, 25 for second, 21 for third. And
yeah,
then,
that's what the top three was before.
Yeah, that's good then. We've something to get used to. But obviously, team championship, the teams are going to be working together, and I think this is the first taste for everybody and all the teams of actual team racing. So of course they'll get warmed up for the actual Tier S season, which of course will continue to be invitational, as is this 6-round season. And first and foremost, for now in the lobby, it's a little bit overcast overhead, but you know, what do you expect with regards to practice and the approach to these 6 rounds?
Well, I think maybe teams will be looking to use more of their drivers than maybe they would in the regular season just to see everyone's performance. Because obviously there's no prize pool for this like there is for the main season. So yeah, maybe people are willing to take a few more risks, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there. JT saying there's some late rain in the race. No better way to start a season than with some mixed conditions. Who's out first then? It's AMS Anthony, who is of EXR. It's good to see those back on the platform, and it's good to also welcome back Novus Racing and yes, that is it from the teams that have come back, and we're also welcoming AERT onto this invitational grid as well. Having lost Visceral Racing, they shut down their console side on Xbox, and then of course TIR and, forgive me, I'm just going to have to double check, FGE in this one as well. So 3 entrants, all trying to audition for a place in AEC Tier S.
AEC only have one driver today, by the looks of it. I don't know if anyone's joining qualifying, but
yeah, hopefully that can be resolved. On my end, it's a bit loud, so I'm just going to turn that down. That is my fault. That is just on my end. Right, so as you can see, 3 drivers on outlaps, many more now joining them. An overcast session in traditional Silverstone fashion, on board with AMS Anthony, who's, as you can see on the telemetry, just generating a bit of brake temperature, which of course filters through into, I should say, the tyre carcass, and you rely a lot on the brake temperature to keep your tyres nice and warm. Hopefully he's got them in the window now, and will embark on the very first lap of the AEC mini-series, coming through turn 1 and then turn 2 farm curve. Well, obedient drivers there letting him through. He's got just a bit of clear track in front of him, but he'll reach some traffic in the middle sector. Around the loop, onto entry, turn number 5, the DRS open for the first time in the Team Silverstone car, making his way down in towards Brooklands. We've had an update today, Harvey. You noticed any changes, or are we still as it was then for the release of the game?
I haven't personally noticed any changes, no. I've done quite a bit of Britain today, but it's just felt the same as usual to me. Though, yeah, maybe others have felt differently. It'll be interesting to see or hear from other people. I didn't actually read the patch notes, to be honest, so...
Yeah, I don't think there was anything significant with the cars, but I was going to mention there, just into Cops, completely flat out in 8th gear now. Such a really enjoyable experience is Silverstone as he makes his way down now the hanger straight in towards Stoke Corner, 6th gear, and fully on the throttle already. Just such a joy to watch. And now into the Vale chicane, big sausage curb on the inside, getting a bit of rear locking, but it's helped him rotate and get that front end turned in. AMS Anthony to cross the line, and that is a very good lap time indeed for a banker.
It is indeed.
A 1 minute 25.147. Next to cross the line, I think plenty of drivers
Egger.
just starting their flying laps. Egger of
He's
NPR
just had tow
was one of
from
them.
Liam Bowman.
Let's see then. Again,
He was a
avoiding
few
that sausage
tenths
curb.
down in the middle sector on Anthony.
There you go. 3.5 tenths off. NVR Egger has got some work to do to beat AMS Anthony. Further forward, I think it's one of the Hasses leading the way at the moment. That is our reigning champions. That's NRX Zinity. Congratulations once again to NRX for their achievement on the back end of F1 22. Zinity, of course, trying to be one of the front runners for the team, as is Furious. So this could be a really exciting lineup tonight. He again makes his way into the Vale chicane. Get very repetitive of saying this, but Silverstone Circuit once again proving the difference between the good drivers and the slightly mediocre as NRX
Arch is
Zinity
coming to
goes
the
up
line
into
on a good lap.
second. Here he comes, and fastest FRA Arch, now of course of Team Valor, in his Mercedes for tonight. About 800ths of a second clear at the moment. Again, still plenty more to come, including Furious, who slots into fourth. Green crosses the line in his McLaren and goes P3. FRT guys there slotting into 7th and 8th with Shazoo Venom, the ever loyal Shazoo Venom, crossing the line and going up into P6. Liam Bowman, the pad man himself.
Into the 24s.
They set a really good benchmark there, Harv. Of course, as a pad driver yourself, you know all about the changes and the different responses you get from the car now. Are you enjoying that?
I do, especially round Maggots and Beckett's. It seems like the car wants to stick a lot more than it did before. I do quite like that section a lot more now. But yeah, I haven't done a 24 myself. I'm a bit slower than Liam, so that's good for him to get in the 24s already.
Absolutely, first run down then, and be interesting to see the tyre selections. If only we had that option at our disposal, because of course they're going to want to go long into the race, and so might have sacrificed a set of softs in this qualifying session in case they have to respond to a safety car of anything of the sort. What would you do in this situation, knowing that rain is coming late in the race?
Well, I haven't seen the segments for it, but if it's possible, maybe try and start on hards and go all the way until the rain comes. Or if it's not, maybe start on mediums and then put on a set of softs or another set of mediums. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how soon into the race the rain's meant to go.
I mean, the approximate forecast can bring anything. It could be the 4th segment, like you say, or the 7th. You're not really going to know until you get in the race. So it's about just weighing up those chances. And Quibauda, yeah, indeed, a single AERT driver at the moment. Of course, attendance is important when it comes to selection of teams. You know, what's the point? Yeah. I'm sure it's only a one-off, but when it comes to Tier S, you don't want to be having teams field a single driver or have late withdrawals. So hopefully they get that sorted out for the latter end of the season. But up next, PSR Smokey, the WOR Crossplay Tier 1 champion of Season 14. Season 15 just around the corner, and he is about to make his way and see what he can do up against this AEC grid tonight. Through turns 1 and 2, completely flat out, 188 miles an hour before braking hard into Village, 3rd gear, and then he might go down another through the loop. No, he remains in 3rd gear, keeps the car nice and planted. The AlphaTauri there, who Helmut Marko announced today that they'll undergo another name and branding change, still as Red Bull's B team, its sister team, with of course the aim of promoting young drivers. Smokey, certainly plenty of experience he's got nowadays, and he's getting a slipstream from an equally as experienced PSR Kai, and he'll pull out of the way going into Copse Corner, reaching about 200 miles an hour before the right-hander comes up on you in a flash. Just into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel now, flat through the first part, just a couple of lifts going through the second part, and then completely flat out once again going
Very
into
good
Stoke Corner. Just see on the tyres where he might be picking up a few of those marbles going off of the racing line to cut the distance going into Stowe. And of course, many drivers have complained about marbles and how it can just limit the amount of freedom you have. Smokey, however, hasn't felt that at all. He's gone quickest by a couple of tenths, and he, once again, is the man to beat.
He certainly is. You see what his teammate can do next. Is Kai going onto a lap now? I think he is.
Let's see
if Kai can get anywhere near his teammate.
Again through turn 1, I think there'll be drivers preceding him. EXR Zackers crossed the line to start his next flying lap. Bobberts likewise. NVR Egger a little bit further on around the lap, coming through Woodcut, that is now. Of course, the curb on the inside, which was not there for many, many years in the game, even though it's been there in real life for as long as I remember. So one of those track features that everybody was bugging about, but on the site of the former World War II airfield, will now start to sense a little bit of elevation. Hangar straight, we all know why it's named as it is. And again, this is where you feel the most going through the car. Again, plummeting down in towards Vale. And third gear for the chicane, who'll hold it coming through the second part and through the 18th and final corner now at Club. NVR Egger crosses the line and goes up to P7 at the moment. PSR Kai 101.7 he's clocked in the middle sector.
Just a bit slower
again,
than
competitive.
Smokey. If he has a good last sector, he may go fastest.
We'll let Kai do the talking on the track. And it's a brilliant final sector. PSR Kai has made it a 1-2 for Paradox Sim Racing, the runners-up in AEC Tier S last season. They are back on top at the moment. We'd expect the likes of NRX to respond here. Zinity rounds in the final corner now. 6 thousandths up in the middle sector. Crucial final sector where he's lost about a tenth. That leaves him with a little bit more pressure going on to the final lap to potentially deliver. Will the same be said for Furious, as Tamino has crossed the line there and gone up to P8 for BRT, who were arguably the story of last season. Furious crosses the line, has found a bit of time, unlike his teammate. He's gone 6th.
AMS Anthony's done a better first sector than he did before. Let's see if he can pass Liam Bowman.
A very good
Although
start
Bowman's
to this
coming to
session.
the end of the lap and he's over a tenth up after the middle sector.
Liam Bowman, here he comes to cross the line. He has found half a tenth, but it's not quite enough to get near the PSR duo. AMS Anthony has seemed to have backed off here, so has he made a mistake at Stowe? It looks like he might have.
Oh, who just went? Oh, Lou into 5th place for AERT. That's a good lap.
He's got it all to do tonight on his own, AERT Lou. Tom Knepp saying, responding to AEC, saying which team will surprise, and well, Lou might have just shut Tom Knepp up there in terms of qualifying trim. I hope it's the case it goes on and does well in the race, because we'll see. Good evening to everybody that's still in the live chat. I've not picked up on many of the recent messages. Who have we got in it? Say hi if you're here, and we'll give plenty of deserved shout outs while all the drivers pull back into the pit lane for their final runs. Yes, I know, Tom, but Lou can still do the business. Why can't he? I mean, it's not a team, it's just an individual, but I'm not a bear Carone.
Noah says he
thank
wants more FRT bias from me. So
Go ahead. Pick up your
Riss
team.
has done a very good lap then. Very pleased with that in 7th. And he's only a couple of hundredths off Lou in 5th as well, so hopefully he can get higher in the final run.
What's the atmosphere like at FRT? Of course, about 3 years it's been going now. Very well established.
One of the oldest teams, I think. And I've been there for well over a year now myself, and I like it. Chelsea fan tells me to wake up, I sound like a corpse. I'm sorry. It's my first time commentating, and yeah, I'm a bit nervous, so...
I'd be nervous as well, knowing 53 people are listening to you. All for... This is like a pre-season friendly. This is like your tour in Australia playing Melbourne Victory. This is as good as it gets, in my opinion. I mean, I can't wait for the football pre-season, but F1 pre-season for the
It's dull.
tournaments. Yeah.
Regular F1 pre-season's dull. Hopefully.
Oh
this
yeah.
isn't.
This is where it's at. Anyway, final runs
Nothing to
incoming.
nervous about when I'm with Joseph, apparently, according to Rain. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Joseph is nice.
I try to be nice. Not always. You know, if anybody wants to straight line anyone to like, please don't.
Valor talking about Harry Winks.
I'll get onto that after qualifying. That'll be a great talking point. Smeggy has redeemed request a fact. Silverstone facts, the driver facts. I don't know.
Can it be a
Rain
fact
says
about
stop reading
anything?
the If you have a fact, go ahead with a fact. It's tradition. You know your facts. You're a geographer.
I don't know. I'm going there in a month. That's a fact, but it's not a very exciting one. It's in 2 counties as well. That's another fact.
Yes. There you go. Northamptonshire or
I can give you a
Buckinghamshire.
fact
Here's a
for free
fact.
there.
I'm Northamptonshire born, and apparently that makes me a plastic fan. So
What
I'll
of
leave that
Leicester?
one up. Yeah, I'll leave that one up for debate. But there you go, slipstreaming down at NVR. But will it be enough for Egger, who's 2/10 down in the middle sector? And he might pick up another small toe here. This looks like a Haas racing to the line. Smokey has obliterated his best. He's gone quickest with a 1:24.660 on board with NVR. Egger round in the final corner now, turn 18 and up to the line then. He's not improved. He found a little bit of time in the final sector, but it wasn't enough to challenge anybody. EXR Zach, well, that said purple in the middle sector. He's 19th at the moment. I'd hope he improves on this. It's an outlap. Of course it's an outlap. I knew that.
Kai
I
coming
knew that.
towards the end of the first sector on his laps if he can topple Smokey again. He's just a couple hundredths up in the first sector, and he's going to be getting his toe again, coming down towards Cops.
I think it might be a Red Bull that's flying into the final sector at the moment. It is. It's BRT Meatball. Or Meatball. I think it's Meatball. I think that's what he likes to go by. But he's a couple of tenths up. Can he find any more? Yes, he has. P5, a very good lap time there by BRT Meatball. He's gone up into 5th place. And AMS Anthony, however, has quickly beaten that. Next
Kai's
up is a
2
McLaren.
tenths up in the middle sector.
Simba Rocks 1, only 17th. PSR Kai is likely to beat his teammate here. He's received the toe back from PSR Smokey, and now he's well on course to go quickest here tonight. He once said I wasn't enthusiastic enough about his pole time a couple of weeks ago in WR. This time I will be, because
That's an excellent lap.
a purple lap time. It's an excellent lap, and what more can you say about it? Liam Bowman has crossed the line. It's a very good effort. He stays 3rd at the moment, but FRA Arch might want to beat that. He's 4th at the moment, has found a few hundredths in the middle sector. Can he find any more? The grit and the gravel on that Mercedes, the black Mercedes that's still without side pods in the game. He hasn't got any quicker than Liam Bowman, but it's still 4th place at the moment as Ogween goes up onto the 2nd row of the grid, beating Liam Bowman by 0.005 of a second. That might just do
Stokey
it
is
for the top 10 in
invalidated.
qualifying.
And
Stokey.
Blue is coming into the pits. I think, yeah, that might be done.
We've had one final change, and that is Zinity has gone 7th fastest. 2 NRX drivers in the top 10. But of course, the story of qualifying, as it so often is Paradox Sim Racing, but the grid beyond them, a nice, close and exciting one.
Yeah, I said before that I thought PSR might be favourites to win, and they've shown that with 2 great laps. At least a 10th clear of anyone else, so I'm sure they'll be pleased.
Smokey saying his final sector cooked. I don't know what it cooked, but it cooked. Qualifying results are in then. AlphaTauri and PSR locking out the front row. Ogween up there in 3rd place. Liam Bowman on rival territory down in England. He lives in England, but that doesn't fit the agenda. Up in fourth. Arch and Anthony.
Who would you say is your surprise of the session?
Surprise of the session. Now, I don't know, because I've not familiarised myself with everybody in terms of raw pace, but if I was to look at anyone, I'd look at Ogwin. He's come through a very close pack there, and best
very
after
good lap
PSR.
from SLR driver.
Right, still relatively overcast.
I think the rain's meant to come about halfway through the race, unless it's changed. So, gonna see. Maybe we might have a mix of tyres, hard and medium. I'm not sure.
I think that will make it very intriguing, especially at the start with the medium runners coming through the pack, if there are any. We'll get stuck into that in a moment. But as promised, I did want to answer B Hill's question, what I think of the Leicester City signings, and I'm quite surprised, signing 2 former England internationals. In the case of Connor Cody, he still is. People are saying, "Oh, buying the league or whatever." Just get more money. It's not difficult.
Certainly done more business than Man United this window already.
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean,
Still haggling over Mason Mount.
but no, I'm excited. I'm happy. Men's Mental Health Month. I'm feeling great about the season.
Meatball not being the surprise of this session is blasphemous. Yeah, we could have picked him as well, to be fair.
There's a
was a
lot
good
of drivers you
performance
could
from
have
him.
picked. Plenty. By the way, if you're watching PSGL this evening, what are you doing? Stay right here. This is where you want to be.
Yep,
That's all I'm
PSGL has
saying.
nothing on this.
I agree. No cheating accusations over here. It's now 28 minutes past, so
Is formation lap on today or not? It was yesterday for the social.
yeah, it should be then.
It is on
can
apparently.
confirm. Yep, it is on. So we go to green for a
Do we have a
tour of
mix of
Silverstone.
tyres?
No. Well, yes.
Oh, one person on mediums.
Technically, yes. Does it constitute as a mix if there's 18 of one and 1 of the other?
I would say no.
Okay.
Got to have at least a few. Maybe
That's a
it'll pay
question
off
to the
for
chat. Is
Tamino.
this a
I
mix?
don't know.
No, it's not a mix. I'm joking. Well, we'll see how many places he can gain at the start. Remember the position, and that is P15. But I think drivers would rather be safe than sorry. We're being told rain is in 15 minutes, and that doesn't seem like a long time. That's about 9 or 10 laps in. But then you've got to factor in the engineer tax. There's usually 15 minutes after the 15-minute warning that the rain actually starts falling. So, yep,
Yeah,
I
he
think
usually
Hards
says
is the right
15
call.
minutes for ages.
Yeah.
I remember it was raining in the social yesterday towards the end, and he spent about 10 minutes or like 5 laps then. It was coming in 15 minutes.
We had exactly the same in Lobby 2, and I went on to the Inters because I'd already blown the race. I thought I might as well just test them out and see how they are. But the crossover was so long. It was really coming down. But it just seems like you've got a longer window, because if you've got temperature in your tyres, then it is not really going to matter. how late you leave it. So we'll see a mixture of choices when it comes to the crossover period, which we know is inevitable. Once again, I'd like to welcome viewers new and old to AEC. If you are yet to ever watch a race, what are you doing? We have Tier S, which is no assists, and then Tier 1 and Tier 2, which are the assist tiers on the horizon following the AEC mini-series, which debuts the Artemis Esports Championship on F1 23. We're having all 19 of tonight's drivers pull into their grid slots. Half last call for the win.
Disqualified. I'm going to go with Smokey.
There you go.
I think the
You heard
Tier
it
1
first.
champion might come through and win.
All 5 lights on then. And out! And we're underway, and Kai does get away well. He's going to keep his teammate Smokey at bay. Tucks in behind. Going into the first corner at Abbey. Liam Bowman with a brilliant start. Up into third. And taking TVA Ogween off of the line then. Into Village we go. And the Aston Martin,
Yellow
the
flagged
Mercedes
already.
still with his nose in. And there's a tap in the rear.
And
AMS
that was
Anthony
Tamino
coming
on
through
his
the
mediums as spun.
Oh, such a shame for Tamino. However, still a miracle that the front drivers are still in check, as Arch, Ogween and Anthony through there in 4th, 5th and 6th. Shazoo Venom, a very good starter as always, has a little bit of a twitch coming out of Brooklands, but he stayed in P9 with AERT Lou, the sole driver there in the Ferrari, trying to hold on at the moment to P10. Will Meatball go around the outside at Cop's corner? He's going to try it! He's going to pull it off! What a sensational move by BRT Meatball, and that concludes a fairly clean 2 sectors to the Grand Prix.
It does. He'd lost a few positions off the start there, but he's managed to gain one of them back. BRT has still been pretty big losers there though, with Tamino down 4 as well, towards the back.
Biggest winners. FRT Dan up 3 positions, Risks up 1 as well, so a good start for your team, and then Egger up 3 as well, and well, that
All
might
4
change
now.
as Lou has had a moment. He's got off the track and he's come back
Egger
on
spun.
wheel to wheel with Risks, as Egger has lost ground there due to a spin. Didn't quite catch what happened, but when you have that big concertina effect going into turn 16, you often see a lot of spins there, and especially on the sausage curbs as well. If you force a driver out onto them, that can pretty
Venom
much
looking
hard
for a
both
move
your
on
races.
Furious. Round the outside. But no, he can't get that done.
Let's see. Well, he's burned some of his battery here, and I'll get the telemetry on to have a look. Yes, he is. And again, sight set on the outside into Cop's corner. Ooh, and there was a bit of a tap there. And actually, Furious has had to take evasive action, having a moment and sliding off onto the runoff area at Cops. He comes back onto the circuit, getting a little bit of a weave there to say, no, I don't appreciate that, Shazoo Venom. And you'll have to try again fairly. Venom actually weaves back, so some friendly banter actually going on down the hangar straight. Not something you see all too often. Was it an apology? Who knows?
Maybe.
Simba Rocks 1. And EXR Zach going wheel to wheel here. This is for P14 into the Vale chicane. Oh, that's a late move from the Red Bull. That's BRT Torino trying to make up for the positions he lost on the opening lap. It's still side by side between EXR Zach and Simba Rocks 1. The McLaren has got ahead into the first corner. Soon might be a dive bomb here any moment now. And again, late on the brakes is the Red Bull, just trying to squeeze everything he can now out of these medium tyres. Not a lot to lose at this point, but he has to make the gains early. Here comes Bobberts to the left-hand side on EXR Zach. It's going to be out. Who can break later into Brooklands? It looks like Bobberts might have, but you can carry a lot of speed there around the outside. Zach has failed to do so. Straight off, exceeding track limits, you could say, and down a position he falls into P16, but still one big train except from the sort of break up here going from Silver Rocks 1.
I think we've had a pretty clean start. No damage by the looks of it from anyone. Just a couple of spins. As DRS has now been enabled, so maybe we're going to see a few more moves.
We have seen a move. It's for the race lead. It's PSR Smokey who's taking control over PSR Kai. And that might have been a well-orchestrated one just to start towing off each other, because with how powerful DRS and the ERS combination is, if you just are caught off guard by the car behind, it would not be uncommon for Liam Bowman to just...
Bowman is very close to Kai for second place. But I thought he might go down the inside there into turn 3, but no. He was only a 10th back, but he decided to stick behind.
It's possible for him to just take both if he gets close enough. I wouldn't rule it out at all. Sav asking, why have PSR used so much ERS?
Kai's already down to 40%. Which is... he's got about 20% less than Liam already, so... maybe that puts Liam at a big advantage later in the race. I don't know.
I wonder how this one is going to play out. Liam Bowman really pushing and giving it everything here to try and take on Paradox Sim Racing. A real 1v2 situation at the moment. DRS enabled once again. Is there going to be another swap at PSR? Gaining is PSR Kai, but no, nothing doing on that occasion. Further back again, ESV Bobberts and Simple Rocks 1. These guys cannot escape each other further back, and in doing so, the gap now opens up to 2.2 seconds. Bobberts needs a miracle to get back in this DRS train. I think there's a thing called a safety car that might help him, but I don't want to say that word just
no,
yet in case
don't
it
want to
just
jinx anything.
happens. No, absolutely.
But yeah, it's going to be hard for him to get back into the DRS now, especially as he's only got 25% battery left already. So, oh, we got a yellow flag.
That's Tamino again. Turn 2 it looked like, so could sense a little bit of contact down there. Just trying to get back through the order. Has maybe taken a little bit too much risk in doing so. A real shame for Tamino, because that's pretty much his race. I don't want to say over, but he will have an opportunity to come back into it with a good time safety car and a switch to intermediate tyres, but from 4 seconds back, everyone's still in the train. Yeah, he's got no immediate chance of recovery now. Anyway, look at this. 4 drivers within about a second of the race lead. So just who goes and makes a move here, because it's not all about the team orders. And here comes Arch. Here he comes. And so, oh, almost going up the inside of Smokey. Kai went the long way round to take the lead away from his teammate. And Arch just could not get it done with the overspeed that he and the Alfa Romeo had in front of him. That was so close to being a 3 or potentially 4 wide moment there. That is the first of many signs that we're seeing then that PSR are a little bit vulnerable still out in front, despite having the firm 1-2. It's a virtual safety car. BRT Tamino has had another spin. Everyone is past the pit lane. That front wing is
he's got no front
well off the track. This really shouldn't be upgraded, and I hope it isn't, and it shouldn't impact the race too heavily. It gives a chance for a little bit of ERS regeneration.
Yeah, for people like PSR who maybe had used more than they wanted to already, they can get back up to close to full maybe.
The case of Kai back up to 75%. Smokey closing in on 90%. You can just see managing those brake temperatures, putting a little bit of pressure into the brakes, and of course it harvests the battery as well. So again, plenty of chance to just manage your entire race, and away we go once again, much to the surprise of Liam Bowman, as around the outside goes FRA Arch. Oh, what a move it was on the Scotsman, who was caught napping on the virtual safety car restart. Not often you see a move at Maggots, and through Beckett's as well to consolidate the position. It's now Arch's role to take on PSR. He's up into 3rd place. What a moment.
I think Liam Bowman will definitely be a bit disappointed with himself at that. Yeah, it's never good. I've been caught out on a few virtual safety car restarts before, and you just kick yourself for a few laps. But yeah, he's fast, and I'm sure if he gets the opportunity, he can re-overtake Arch at some point.
There's been an incident further back. NRX Zinity has dropped right down the order to P14. A real shame there for the NRX driver. His teammate currently in P7 and looking a little bit vulnerable himself. And, well, he slides through on ESV Bobbitt, who's gone wide
Ooh,
at
we've got
Village.
another swap for the
change for the lead, and it's Smokey that retakes control for the moment. We're on lap 7 of 26. We're expecting rain just right about half distance, I'd estimate, for the full crossover to really start taking shape onto a wet surface. And Tamino's crashed on track. It's another virtual safety. It's a full safety car because I can see the yellow dot emerging onto the track. This is strange. Is it virtual or is it?
I don't know. It still says virtual on the screen, but yeah, the full safety car.
There is a
definitely...
safety car on track. Yep, full safety car. There it is.
Will we see anyone pit? Maybe some people nearer the back might, but if there's going to be rain fairly soon, you'd probably expect the leaders to stay out.
I think they do, but there's a gap opening up here between Smokey and Kai. Is that Kai backing off? It looks like he might be. Lando Norris unsportsmanlike conduct. Sorry. Well, they've done the opposite at PSR. And I don't think it's quite worked out how they might have expected it, because only 6 drivers, you'd expect those further back to come in and make the low-risk change. But Smokey will be 13th following this pit stop.
Yeah, that... I wouldn't have done that personally, but I'm sure Chrisley's engineering them. Maybe he knows something we don't.
He always knows something we don't.
Yeah, but Smokey's going to come out in 13th on mediums, so if the rain's coming fairly soon, he's got a lot of ground to make up, even with those fresher tyres before.
But if there's any tyre you want to be on when it starts raining, it's a nice mild set of mediums, to be fair.
Not older hards.
Yeah. Just a bit of argument to suggest the cause of Tamino's crash. Again, he came in for another set of mediums following his initial crash, and then did the same thing and sort of spun on and ended up at the pit entry. So
yeah,
very strange.
So yeah, everyone who pitted has gone on to mediums. Everyone who stayed out is on hards, so you'd expect the people on mediums to make up a few places, but can they get back to where they were before the rain comes?
Just a little word of mouth. Rain is now imminent. And imminent still means around 25 minutes on the F1 game, so I'm not going to get my hopes up until I see the first few drops. I'm going to check the weather outside. No, still overcast. If it's simulating the real world, then not yet. Is there anyone coming into the pits? It looks like Egger might have taken another chance, and he was down in 17th anyway.
Zinity looked like he might dive into the pits, but I think he came back across after the white line, back onto the track. So
Inters for Egger. I was waiting to see what it was. It was either going to be maybe a set of softs to take him and get those immediate positions, but no, he's gambling on absolutely imminent rain.
Well, he's got to hope it rains in the next 2 minutes.
It's a long pit lane, Harv. It's about 30 seconds total time. So if there's a track you're going to want to make the gamble at, it's Silverstone.
Yeah, it is. Although, if it doesn't rain before the end of the safety car, he doesn't really want to be spending too long on the dry on Inters, because he's going to be losing a lot of time. and wearing out his tyres more than he would want. But of course, if it does rain before the safety car comes in, and I think I just saw... Did I just see us? Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah,
I can see
it's
on
raining.
my screen.
There you go.
Has Egger made the right decision then? It looks like he could have done.
This could be what's known as heritage. One of those heritage calls.
Yep, safety
anyway, the
car's
safety
in this
car
lap.
is in this lap. The green flags are waving, but it's down to Kai to dictate the pace and go whenever he feels comfortable. And he'll feel less comfortable now, knowing that he's speeding up and slowing down again. That's
Are people going to come in this lap? That's the question, or are they going to wait one more?
Kai wants to get on with it. He has gone really early here. He's carried a lot of speed, whereas some drivers might have chose to back up the pack. Away we go, racing again in Silverstone. Kai leads on lap 10. His teammate Smokey, who made that pit stop, he's down in P13 at the moment. Let's watch his progress, almost making a move into Abbey. Just look at the amount of grip that Brit has coming through turn 2, and he's pulled to the inside at Village, and down the inside he goes into turn 3. He's up into P12, sight set on
Arch
11,
looking for the
and
same
just look
move
at the
as well.
traction.
And he's got past the rocks as well. As has Risks.
Smokey again, forcing Bobbitt's defensive. He'll go the long way round once again. Can he carry the speed? He'll take the switchback though, and that is a glorious move by PSR Smokey. Fresh tyres indeed, but it's about being smart in his racecraft. And here comes another move up the inside, potentially of NRX Zinity. There wasn't a lot of room to play with. Zinity opened it up at the final moment. Smokey wasn't willing to take the risk, but his exit from Cops is outstanding. And he'll go around the outside into Maggots. Oh, Zinity takes it back. And again he'll have the inside. Again Smokey to the outside. What a battle this is for P10. And again Smokey straight onto the ERS, straight into the slipstream, and straight into P9. AERT Lou has nothing to answer for that. A brilliant display of driving here from Smokey, and it's not over as another move down the inside on BRT Meatball. The fresh tyres on this game, it is just
five
brilliant.
places in one lap?
5 places, yeah.
I'm watching Egger at the moment, and he's losing a lot of time on his inters, but of course, if the crossover comes soon, he's still going to be way out in the lead, as long as his tyres haven't overheated or worn too much.
Theoretically, you should start losing time at a slower rate, and that's when you can start to see the changes take place. Oh wow, that is a moment between Bobbitt and Stokey.
Smokey's made up another place past Dan into 7th.
I don't know if I said Smokey or Stokey there. Stokey I meant, but certainly a bit of lag going on here. Bobbitt versus Simba Rocks 1 now coming through Luffield. Smokey did indeed make that move. Oh no.
A few disconnections.
Oh, this might be more than a few. This might. Oh no.
That's like 3 at least, I think I've seen.
You're in charge of invites.
Who left?
Hopefully that's okay. Arch.
And Lou.
Lou.
And someone else, but I didn't see
Someone
who,
else.
I think.
Just flick through and see who's ghosted. Because it might not have even shown everybody. Simba Rocks 1 with a 3-second time penalty. However, Smokey is up into P6. And it might soon be P5. Furious again, not willing to let this one go. But late on the brakes goes PSR Smokey. And the difference in grip is phenomenal. And he's up into P5. That is 8 positions in the space of 2 laps. Yes, it was. Ogween it is. And unfortunately, I think Anthony was being smart with that one, taking the DRS.
But now, of course, there's a big gap between Anthony in 3rd and the top 2, so that disconnect for Ogween has let the top 2 get away a bit. Although Smokey now into 3rd, he'll be looking to close that down.
What's the words? Cooking. Yeah, Smokey's doing that. This is just brilliant. And Dan on Ogween, who obviously still not yet to take control of that car. Arch is back into the session as well. I think it'll be great for the impact of that wasn't worse, because he's still in this train and he's still ready to take P7 straight back. Right hand side of the FRT Dan, up into P7 he goes. EXR Zach I think wants an invite as well. I'll just do it while I'm here.
Okay, that's
got him.
Egger's now almost 10 seconds off the back of the field. So the longer this goes on, the more maybe intermediates under the safety car wasn't the right call. But still at the moment, he will still come out in the lead by a long way. But he's losing several seconds a lap.
Well, he'll want to stay out, Egger, because it will help Bowman.
Yeah.
And that is a crucial decision they've got to make. And he's the filling in the PSR sandwich for the first time in this race. And we might go and take the lead of the race here for the very first time this evening. Liam Bowman to the inside and to the lead in his Alfa Romeo. PSR now 2 and 3, but that could all soon change once again, as I think Smokey would like to get past his teammate. He's made the switch back on his teammate, and I think Kai's just going to have to give this one up. He has done, no harm done there. And Smokey sets his sights on Bowman, will stay on board with him to measure the difference in grip. There's a 10th gain through Cops Corner alone, and he'll keep gaining with the slipstream, and he'll keep gaining through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. He'll just alter his line slightly so we can focus on the exit of Chapel and get into the DRS, into the slipstream. It's a complete mismatch for the lead of the race as Smokey takes it back. Penalties
First
through the
penalties
field,
of the
crucial
day.
ones.
3 coming through, and they're all at the same point, roughly. Zinity, Bobbitt's and Simbarox.
Have you noticed any difference in the track limits? Would you say they're more harsh this game?
I'd say, yeah, when you go off, as we have a few coming into the pits, probably for intermediates, I'd guess. Beyond track limits, I'd say they're a lot less forgiving when you go off and you try and lose time. Maybe at some point you'd get a warning on this game where you wouldn't have done on last game. Particularly around Qatar, I've seen that. It's very unforgiving, but I think there's a couple of places on this track you can get away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Zinity and Ogween have pit for mediums. We are still a long way away from that crossover period. Arch versus Kai. And again, a bit of movement down there. And Arch, I think he initially had it done. But Kai has taken it back off him. And flashing away is the AlphaTauri, and the Mercedes struggling for battery as well. This is where the gap is going to start to open up, as out in front Smokey and Liam Bowman are in a much better position.
A couple of people spun in Sector 2. Venom and Lou, I think. Yep, they must have had a collision around Cops.
Egger is not disconnected. He is genuinely just that far off on the intermediates at the moment. Wheel to wheel between Arch and Kai. Arch down the inside into Vale. He's got the move done. Going into there, he's back in position after that disconnect. The slight disruption to his pace might have been a lot closer to Bowman and Smokey out in front. Smokey has broke the DRS of his nearest rival Liam Bowman. PSR Kai now down to P4. Did the opposite to what Smokey did. It hasn't necessarily paid off, but I think it was still a good call nevertheless.
Yeah. I wondered how long it would take Smokey to get through the field, particularly if the rain came sooner than it has. It looks like it's just drizzling quite a bit at the moment. The inters still look a lot slower. As Egger has actually come into the pits, I think he's going to give up on these intermediates.
Yeah, it looks like it indeed, as Stokey has got ahead of FRT Dan. FRT running 7th and 9th at the moment, so risks the third driver has actually attempted that medium strategy under the safety car, and it's worked wonders for him.
Yeah, that looked to be the best strategy now, but it's whether he can get into Furious's DRS. He's just about a 10th away, but it's been hovering about 1.5 seconds for a couple laps now.
Furious makes a simple move on AMS Anthony. He's up into 5th place at the moment. Arch got very close to the back of Liam Bowman. But surely his opportunity will come down the Wellington straight going into Brooklands. NRX Furious is pitting here for what tyres? I'd assume slicks. It doesn't seem like the intensity of the rain has increased yet. The track's still warm, the tyres still holding their temperature enough to be effective in these conditions. The Haas pulling in, and what tyres are they? They look yellow from a glance. They are yellow. They're mediums. In he comes.
Yeah, I think medium is probably the tyre to be on right now. The hards, they're going to be losing grip. People are on old tyres. But being on a set of new mediums, you're going to gain so much time.
Arch has made the move on Liam Bowman, as expected, down in towards Brooklands. And again, Liam Bowman, who stayed out on those hard tyres, will be interesting to see how far they can go, because the wear isn't going to be nasty in these slightly cooler conditions, but not necessarily going to have grip either.
No, I think he might, Meatball gets a 3-second penalty. I think it might be time. Is he going to wait? Does he think the rain's going to get worse before the tyres blow up? Is he going to be able to make it to the point where Inters might be the better tyre? Or is he going to have to go into the pits like we've seen a few others do?
He has to pit at some point if the conditions stay like this. He cannot obviously bank on being out there.
Kai has pitted. And we've seen 3 people come into the pits now. Anthony and Dan as well. I expect they'll be going on to mediums as well.
It's a very strange scenario, because on previous games, after a few laps, you might have been in for the intermediate tyres, but we're still running the conventional strategy here at this point, with a medium to hard, or a hard to medium, in which case that was done a lot earlier for the drivers who took advantage of the safety car. Liam Bowman still in close contention with FRA Arch. Just surprised that he's not got away as quickly as Smokey has, perhaps owing to the increased wear that the medium runners might start experiencing.
Yeah.
But the majority of drivers now on the mediums.
Yeah, they are. I think the people who pitted under safety car for the mediums, they might just be able to get to the end of the race on those, but they're certainly going to be a lot slower at the end of the race than people who have pitted just in the last couple of laps.
Here comes Bowman and Arch, who's flashing. Bowman doesn't want to make the move. I think perhaps hoping that Arch wouldn't defend there and maybe cost some time, because he's coming into the pit lane. Liam Bowman, in he comes. That was late on the brakes, but he's managed to slow it down. The braking zone would be slightly extended going into the pit lane. One way you have to slow down to 37 miles an hour and trundle down parallel to the Lewis Hamilton straight. And again, it'll be a set of mediums, but saying this, we've only got, what, 8 laps to go? It's...
Yeah. Maybe if you don't have a new set of softs, it's not worth going on to them. If you used all of them in qualifying, a set of new mediums might be better than worn softs. But that promotes risks into 3rd and Stokey into 4th. And
Furious
there's a nice gap for that top 4.
Furious will take the DRS, and look at his ERS as well, over 75%. This is for position. For net position, I should say. We've had a moment further back. It's Enver Rega, whose intermediate gamble failed. It looks like the rain is starting to pick up a little bit, and he speeds in the pit lane to retire, I assume, the German. His race quickly coming to an end there. No safety car deployed, obviously, for that one. Furious not yet interested in making the move on Liam Bowman. Perhaps they're trying to work in conjunction to hope that the other drivers around them pit, and of course they can gain a lot of time while they still can on fresh mediums.
Yeah, as Smokey's pitted again.
Oh.
Does he think the tyres won't make it to the end?
Well, if we had Ted Kravitz, we'd know, but we don't, so we're guessing. they're more mediums. He is going to try and win this race on a two-stop strategy.
Is that
like
going to be
this.
possible? It's a gamble, but if it works, Christie's going to look like a genius, as he often does.
Let's see then. Is Bowman going to be ahead? No. Nowhere
No,
near.
he's going to be 2 seconds behind.
So
but-
Smokey still in clean air.
Can we have gap to the leader, please?
We can. It might be a bit too late now, but this is the gap to the leader. It will be worth looking at, so I will leave it on there, and I'll pop the penalties up
So Smokey
briefly.
23 seconds off the lead. With, what, 8 laps to go?
And there's the pit stops for you as well. 2 drivers still yet to make a pit stop. They will have to pit, so Smokey is 5th here.
Yeah.
At least. That's what we know at the moment. And yes, NVR Arthur, it is raining. I'm not quite sure it comes too well across on the stream, but it has been this sort of damp intensity for the best part of 10 laps.
Yeah, really, since the safety car came in, it rained on the lap it was coming in. And yeah, it's never really been wet enough for Inters at all.
Oh, hang on. Leicester have just tweeted. Oh, okay. It's alright. It's about Madison. It's alright. No.
Are you not still blocked by them?
Alt account, mate. It's always the alt account. They don't know. Shh. Don't tell anyone. One day I'll be unblocked. That'll be a nice moment. I don't know. What are you looking at, Dylan? You tell us. But there's a move. This is what you're looking at. No, it's not a move. That's a disconnect. For the second time, EXR's... No, he's... Oh, for
Ogween
God's
has
sake,
left
he's
as
doing
well.
this again.
Who do I need to invite? Ogween and who
Ogween,
else?
Arch.
Okay.
And that is Arch, who's in the lead of the race. This is unfortunate, because 2 disconnects really can cost you 2, 3, 4 seconds, and if you're
And
struggling
of
to
course
get
the
back in as
AI
well,
may
he's pit.
use some of your battery.
The AI's pit. I'm not sure he intended to. He might have tried to go to the end, but unfortunately he is going to join back to an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah.
If he didn't want it.
And
Oh
he's
dear.
gone on to softs, but they are fresh by the looks of it.
Meatball coming into the pit lane as well. Of course, he's got to get rid of those hard tyres. Smokey now up into P5. It will soon be P4 with a penalty, and P3 when Bobbitt comes into the pit lane. There is a very slim chance that Smokey might have to do this on track, depending on the motives of Smokey and risks out in front. The order has all changed since the safety car, in which Smokey pit onto a set of mediums, got back through into the lead of the race, but took the decision to pit again onto another set of fresh mediums to really power on to the end of the race. No sign of any intermediate tyres if you're just tuning in tonight.
So Smokey came out the pits 23 seconds off the lead. He's only 13 now, but of course Arch was leading by 4 or 5 seconds to Stokey. So he's already gained about 6 or 7 seconds, I think, in 2 laps, I think, since he pitted. So he's gaining quickly, but can he close in before the end?
Well, this will soon be DRS range on EXR Zach. About a second behind of the Aston Martin now, making his way through Stowe. Nobody has come into the pit lane to mine. Bobbitt, except Bobbitt, who of course had to make the pit stop. It's the medium runners we're arguably more concerned about, as much as we like and appreciate ESV Bobbitt. Smokey is on the charge, and he's going ahead here into the first corner. Zach backed out very quickly. He knows he didn't quite have to fight that one. Smokey, 12-second gap to FRT Risks and FRA
with no
Stokey out in
ERS.
front. Indeed, no ERS. how much of a factor would that be?
I don't know. But obviously he's got way fresher tyres, so he's still going to be closing quickly. But can he overtake them before the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see.
But equally, will we see a battle out in front? Or will it just be managing the situation? Because those tyres won't exactly hold up too well. FRT Risks and Stokey, will they work together? Will they start changing positions? DRS open for Risks once again. No sign of that being disabled, which is usually when we have the crossover.
Yeah, Risks isn't even turning his DRS on right down the straight there. So clearly he doesn't want to take the lead yet. I think he knows that Stokey might just get him back. But no, Stokey less than 10 seconds off the lead. I think he's gaining about 3 seconds a lap. So it could be the last 1 or 2 laps where he closes right up to the leaders.
Gap to the leader still on your screen, as that's not FRA Arch, is it? That's FRA Arch, who's gone around at the Vale chicane. He's pushed the initial life out of those soft tyres, and as we all know, that is a very, very quick cycle on this year's game. Arch, who unfortunately has had to deal with 2 disconnects, will now just have to settle for the lower ends of the points. Is that on track, or is that in the pit lane? That looks like in the pit lane to me. Yeah, I didn't have the track map on at that point, but again, a shame that Shizou Venom's race has come to an abrupt close. You can usually count on him to score the big points for Shizou. As it stands, they won't get any with Boberts carrying that penalty. Arch still going for it though and trying to make up for what he's lost here. Back up into P10, a good 6 seconds behind FRT Dan. That pack of around 5th to 9th in a very good position at the moment. They can easily capitalise on anything that happens in front of them. They know they have full security in getting to the end, and the train at the moment is led by EXR Zach, but Kai is about to pull to the left hand side. Equally so Liam Bowman, who might even go around the outside on Kai. Not quite. This is a huge battle for P4 in this Grand Prix. Will he go for a move down the inside into Vale? No, he won't. Liam Bowman stays behind, but in prime position to go on and take 4th place in this race. There's been a moment further back, potentially EXR Zach just being overtaken there, and again Arch suffering on the exit of Stowe. He's just not getting to grips with those soft tyres, which I don't think he wanted to go on at all. So again, an unfortunate situation for him. A driver who often claims he doesn't have much luck.
Yeah, well, maybe he didn't have much luck today with 2 disconnects, and including one maybe unfortunate pit stop, because yeah, he'd be a few seconds ahead of Stokey and Risks right now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, indeed. 2.5 laps left to go. FRA Stokey leads the way for Team Valor. His teammate, obviously we were just talking about there, just facing a little bit of bad luck here tonight. FRT Risks though being chased down by PSR Smokey equally. And there'll be a straight fight to the end of this race. 16 laps completed on these medium tyres. It'll be 18 by the time they finish here tonight. And they've done a really good job just nursing them. There's only been 1 safety car due to the crash of BRT Tomino. Back-to-back laps he went around at Stowe Corner. The second one is what triggered the full course caution. Further back, Arch once again trying to make a move. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. That's into Stowe. Further forward, Anthony now slotting in behind his teammate, who's good 4 or 5 seconds up the road, but that 3-second penalty to EXR Zach shouldn't cause too much of a problem. But then saying that, he's on the same strategy that our leaders are on at the moment.
I'm not sure if Smokey's going to catch, or if he does, he's going to be right on the back of them at the very end of the last lap, because I think it's starting to slow down how much he's catching. It's still over 4 seconds for now, and there's only a lap and a half left to go with this race.
Got a yellow flag in sector 1. That is for Zenity retiring in the pit lane. So 15 drivers remain. Points are distributed to the top 14. 30 for the win, 25 for second, 21 for third. The full point system can of course be found in the rulebook if you're in the AEC Discord server. And if you aren't, why aren't you?
Yeah,
Make sure you
join.
join in. Plenty of spectating opportunities, and you never know, you might just find yourself a new esports home if you're one of the wonder kids out there. Liam Bowman is pulled ahead now of PSR Kai up into 4th place, taking it into Stowe, and this could be the final lap decider between these two. But it's the final lap decider now for the win in the
They
British
got very
Grand
similar
Prix.
battery. Risks
Identical
will obviously
battery.
have DRS. You would have thought
don't-
we would go for a move somewhere. Is it going to be this first DRS zone, or is he going to wait for the second one?
And I tell you what, Harvey, I'm glad that you are here because you are the support that FRT Risks needs right now. And will he go for the move into Brooklands? No, he won't. But surely,
If he wins, I might have to come here every week. I don't know.
you are more than welcome back. Greenhorn,
I'll have to give
you're
up my own
sacked.
seat.
You're gone. You're not welcome. He's with his grandma tonight, so we won't be too harsh on him. Dan has made a move as well. Is this the final lap of all final laps for Future Racing Team then in the very first race of the AEC mini-series? The preview to Tier S, if you like. I'm not quite sure this race is too representative with the conditions we've had tonight. Raining for the best part of 15 laps, yet no intermediates in sight. Here comes FRT Risks. Will he go to the inside, or will it be the outside? It'll be the outside into Stowe. The long way round on the Mercedes. He's carried the speed. He's got the inside into Vale. Late lunge from FRT Risks. He's locked up the rears. Stokey hangs in on the inside. Wheel to wheel round the final corner. A club. They're rubbing wheels. Stokey wins by
Whoa.
nothing. By nothing. 0.021 of a second. FRA Stokey of Stoke-on-Trent, England, has taken victory. Oh, what an ending.
Smokey didn't catch them, but we still got a great battle at the end there. Unfortunate for Risks and myself, obviously a member of FRT, that he couldn't win, but yeah, both of those top two drove brilliantly today.
Whew. And points for everyone that finished, because FRA Arch has not completed the race. I've been told as well by TK that Stokey lost force feedback on the last straight.
Unlucky for him.
That was a near miss. That was a near miss, but he's won, and what a way to win it when your wheel decides to give up on you. And it's a shame we still have these issues, which is why at the end of the day it's a mini series, no money, just pure fun, just pure games, and this is how really it should be, because we get treated to moments like this, and it's Stokey on top after round 1. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you the second round. I don't know the second round.
I don't know the second round either, but I'm looking forward to hearing it.
If we want viewer retention, then I can announce it to the 68 people here tonight. Oh, you've spoiled it. It's Jeddah. It's Jeddah, apparently. So we'll be going to Jeddah next week.
I'm not so excited for that. I'm sorry.
Well, don't think it'll
But
be
I'm
anything
sure it'll
like
be a good
tonight.
race.
I'm a patriotic Brit. Rule Britannia, etc.
Yeah, maybe we should race at Silverstone every week.
I'd love to.
I'm being made fun of by the official AEC account there for my crash at turn 1 at Jeddah. That's not fun.
Well, I'm going to ask if anybody wants an interview, because
Yeah, why not?
why not? We can. maybe Stokey will. We'll see. If he doesn't want to, that's okay. Stupid menus, by the way. Here in F1 World, got to go down to the showroom, and we'll have a. Stokey will have a chat. We've got Stokey in. Let's switch to that Mercedes and get him in here because I want to talk about the feelings that he felt going into that, of course, final sector.
Is he joining?
I've invited him, so we'll see. Here he is. Here he is. First and foremost, the standard health and safety procedure includes your audio. Very important. Stokey, if you're here, congratulations on a victory that you have taken by 0.021 of a second. I've heard that you lost force feedback in that final sector. Talk us through the emotions. Oh, I've got him muted. What's going on?
Oh,
sorry. No, I've not spoke to you in so long,
issues.
yet you're muted.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Restart. Go ahead.
Emotions were everywhere that last lap. It was just focus on trying not to spin and try not to take out a risk at the same time. That was my main worry. But I got there in the end, just about, as I nearly spun across the line. But he was really pushing me them last few laps. But I just made sure I stayed in my ERS, and it was a good fight at the end. Just Smake was causing me issues as well because he was rapid behind us catching. Other than that, it's a good comeback from P12.
What did you make of the choice from Smokey to come in again? Did you think it was likely to cause you issues? Were you thinking of responding and trying to sort of follow the leader, or were you just plan A throughout?
It was plan A, basically, just look after the tyres as much as possible. Just through the early stages, just trying to burn them out, and ended up working out. I didn't get a puncture, but he had a very good strategy call to come back all the way to P3 though.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
percent were your tyres on by the end of the race?
Front left was 74,
Yeah, so not quite in puncture territory then, but
close.
It's just a miracle they can go that long in wet weather for about 18 laps.
I'm from Stoke. It's always raining.
Yeah, well,
yeah, that's
if
the
you
one.
can't, it is a cold Wednesday night. It's not that cold, but
It's not raining.
it's a bit
much,
miserable.
It's not a wet rainy night yet. It's give out rain a bit later though.
Keep us posted on the Stoke-on-Trent weather forecast because it's probably one of the most interesting things about this country.
I thought you were more interesting, but okay.
I don't know what's interesting about me. I'm just
It's got to be that
Here
beautiful
to-
voice.
but no, Harver's been a brilliant servant tonight. I thought I'd
thank
just
you.
thank him once again. Because
Well, I doubt I'll be driving at Jeddah next week, so if Greenhorn isn't available, I'm always free again.
we're
I'll
just
be
going to
better.
politely nudge him out now because
Oh
FRT,
no, he can keep his job.
Are we
FRT
betting on
delivered the goods.
a red flag for next week then? At Jed.
They're off.
Oh, nah, that's not fun. It'll be red flag.
I
like
know.
that. Come on, gotta be
I
fun.
think that they're meant to work now, but I still don't think they do, which is it's probably worth testing at some point, but Well, we'll leave that until we first see it. I've been told the stream is still live. Yes, that's because I'm talking, we're talking, and everybody's talking, and everybody's happy. So,
Right, I'm buzzing.
if it's shutdown time, we will say thank you very much to the over 60 odd people that tuned in tonight in terms of concurrent live viewers. I'm sure plenty more unique viewers throughout the stream. Always brilliant numbers here in AEC, and we've been told next week is Jeddah, so same time next Wednesday, and we will see you right here on the AC Twitch channel. Make sure you follow if you haven't already, but until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.